Hi students, this is Dr. Nisha Varshney once again. Today we are going to start with the most important, or sometimes you say most boring subject called history. But I don't think so that history is so boring. Whenever we listen to the stories, what exactly we listen? We listen the past experiences of the people, and we listen events that took place in the history, and we try to figure out values out of it, what we have to practice and the mistakes that we are not supposed to practice. Okay, so if you will not connect yourself with the history, so I don't think so there is any interest in living life. Means you always want to go ahead from your past. Okay, so whatever your ancestors did, you would like to improve in that particular regard. Okay, so in any field, let us take an example of computers. If today any software engineer would say, I don't want to learn the history of computers, or the first computer which was being developed by any software engineer, and this is not my cup of tea, please tell me the latest technique. So do you think that particular fellow will learn it better? He would lack somewhere, definitely, because he is not aware about the beginning of something. So question is that we have to always keep good events, good people with us from history that motivates us and that guide us, and even to negative people also sometimes, that we don't want to become like that. Fine. So if you talk about in a history, so Hitler is a person which is most hated. Many people do not like him, but there are many people that, like you can say Vivekanand, people would like to become like him. So if you are not aware about the history of your country, of other country, or you can say the area of your interest, so I don't think so that will help you in moving ahead in a qualitative term. Your life will not have that quality. Okay, so don't take it otherwise. My purpose here is to connect you with your past, so we should move ahead in a better way. Fine. So in class 10th we have 4 chapters, in which 3 chapters are compulsory now and 1 chapter is an option, and I am taking easy one out of the 2 options. That option is between the 2 chapters, the age of industrialization and the making of global world. The making of global world is little detailed and little lengthy also, because it is talking about entire process of trade relationship in the past, but in a very lengthy way. So and they have covered lot of events in that. As compared to the age of industrialization, it is pretty easy to understand, and the century which we are talking about is just 19th century. So you are easy to connect with this chapter. So I will be covering that. In case you want to do that other chapter, so please let me know. I will prepare for that. Correct. However, I am offering you here only 1 chapter, which is the age of industrialization. Correct. So we have total 4 chapters. The first one, nationalism in India. Second, nationalism in Europe. The print culture and society, the third one. And the fourth one, which I have just discussed, the age of industrialization. So today I am going to start with the first chapter, nationalism in Europe. If you see, we are going to do 2 nationalism in this history, nationalism in Europe and nationalism in India. So let me explain you first the meaning of nationalism, so it will be easy for you to connect in both the chapters. Okay, so what do you mean by nationalism? Do you know what is nationalism? Nationalism, I give you example, is the word which is containing complete nation. The word is nation. So out of nation, nationalism is emerged. So there is one also word, political term, which we normally associate with the countries, is called state. So first of all, let us understand what are the exact meaning of these 2 words, nation and state. Nation means people living in that particular territorial area of any country, and all people of course cannot be homogeneous. They belong to different culture, language, practices, rituals, caste, creed, whatsoever. So that particular country is with full of variety and diverse people is called nation, in which all the social groups, all people agree to live with the other social group happily without having any issues, that you speak that language, I speak this language, you follow that religion, I follow this religion, but there will not be any conflict. They are living in consensus manner that we are part of the same geographical boundary, because it has been ages that we are living together. Okay, this is the meaning of nation, which is talking about people of the land. And what about the state? State is the government, law of the land. Okay, so the how government or how government runs that country, and which type of government is that? Is that monarchy? Is that democracy? Is that communist? Is that dictator? So we have to see which state they have, this particular country practices. Okay, they have what all they have in their government to offer for the people. So this way there are two words, nation and state. Nation means diverse people living in the country. State mean government of that country. It could be monarch, it could be democracy, and anything. It could be anything. Correct. Now, the state which we are learning here is basically we are looking at a democratic government, in which we look that people have power to make their own government. So it started through French Revolution 1789, we did in class 9th, and later on it got spreaded across the Europe, and in the world the first country which became democracy is US. After that France, then followed by the rest of the countries of the Europe. So what are we going to learn in this unit? In the nationalism in India, we are looking at only India, how Indians got together, all diverse groups got together in making their country one, and accepting and adopting new system of democracy and making and turning it to the democratic state. Correct. But in nationalism in Europe, so if you see current map of Europe also, you will find there are so many small countries. So Europe has many countries, but they are very small geographically, and they also belong to different ethnic groups, as we did in the case of Sri Lanka and Belgium. What is ethnicity? So in Europe, 18th, 19th century, during that time, there was of course across the world there was a system of monarchy, and that monarch would rule that particular geographical area, and there was at that time all the monarchs would like to extend their territorial ruling, means they would attack on other kingdom, would take the territory of that kingdom, so the population of that kingdom will come to, of course, automatically added to the winner. So this way the concept used to work, and it happened for many centuries in the world. So here now people have pissed off after seeing so many wars day and night among the kings, and there is no one who is guaranteeing them that your life is saved and this is your only country. Nobody would rule you from outside this area. So certain kind of issues were there, and people were actually had a lot of problems with monarch and their style of ruling. Because monarch, if luckily if monarch is good, so like Ashoka, so everything is for the praja or everything for the citizens. But if the monarch is bad, so what would you do? You have to accept that monarch, and you have to live with that monarch. All the atrocities of monarch you have to face. So people had a lot of issues with monarch, so they wanted to make their nation state, because they have heard now the new concept of democracy has been emerged in the world, new system where people have their own government. Monarch will be there to associate them, and gradually they will be able to participate in the functioning of the country. So their importance has been increased in democracy. So this new concept of democracy emerged, And feeling of nationalism. Now the feeling of nationalism here, the group of peoples are coming together and forming a big nation, and accepting each other and promising each other to live together, but with the concept of democracy, with the concept of state which is being ruled by them only. So indirectly ignoring or just eliminating concept, trying to eliminate the concept of absolute monarchy and to bring the concept of constitutional monarchy. Gradually this was also completely eliminated. Complete democracy or republic government are seen today in the world. However, in some of the countries we still see constitutional monarchy. Okay, very good example is UK, where we still have the monarch Elizabeth II, very old monarch, and there is a parliament also which is functioning very well. Election take place. However, the ceremonial activities of the country is being done by the monarch. Correct. So let us start with this chapter, and to just dive into this, to look at the depth of how did it start. But it is very interesting, and in this chapter I would like you to copy and whatever I am telling you, and keep on making notes simultaneously. Reason behind it, because it has lots of timelines to consider, and moreover there are many countries to look at. Many countries means here we are not going to look at only one country and its nationalism and form, the process of being becoming a nation. We are going to see here 5-6 countries in detail, not in exactly in detail. 3 countries are in detail and rest of the countries are in one paragraph we have to summed up. So please start writing heading on the nationalism in Europe, and we are starting with the timeline of class 9th here. So before starting and jumping into the NCERT, I have to give you the gist of it. So please start writing. This chapter will take you to the French Revolution. So please write one heading, Europe before 1789, Europe from 1789 onwards. Correct. Next, these are the 2. Now I am just directly coming to the France. So France after 1789, upper Europe we wrote. In under that I am covering first the France. So France after 1789, formation of constitutional monarchy. Please write formation of constitutional monarchy. Next step, France from 1789 to 1792, in which National Assembly worked. Please write National Assembly was the first government of France after monarchy, absolute monarchy. From next 1793 to 94, reign of terror under Robespierre. Can you recall it? So from 1793 to 94, reign of terror under Robespierre, Maximilian Robespierre. And उसी के साथ please just move it little ahead and write down formation of Jacobean clubs. He was the person, Maximilian Robespierre, who started making Jacobean clubs in the way that now people would have different way of dressing, eating, style and ruling, which is similar to the upper class of the France, just to tell them or show them upper class people that we are not less. Fine. Followed by from 1795 to 1800, rule of directory. 1795 to 1800, rule of directory. Okay. Next 1804 to 1815, 1804 to 1815, rule of Napoleon Bonaparte. Written. Now write from 1815 to 1830, 1815 to 1830, monarchy restored in France. I'll explain you. From 1930 to 1945, 1830, I'm so sorry, 1830 to 1845, write down formation of secret societies for democracy, okay, or oblique revolutionaries, role of revolutionaries. Then 1848 onwards, democracy in Europe was adopted in many countries, and many countries turned out to be nations. Done. This is the timeline. Now according to this timeline, we are going to see our chapter. So somewhere we are going into the flashback to see what was happening, and under this timeline we are looking at different countries. For an example, France we are seeing in 1830, same time we are seeing Germany in 1830, we are seeing Italy in 1830. So this way you have to keep in mind and start making your notes. So better is that I am telling you the name of the countries after the timeline. You start writing in columns all the countries, right? First country France, second is Germany, these are the big country, then Italy, next one is UK, then we have to do Greece in this chapter, then we have to do Italy also. We did Greece, and this is called Netherlands Belgium. Netherlands and Belgium. Netherlands, the part of Netherlands now then taken by the Belgium. So this way we are going to see all the countries under this timeline. I hope it is clear to you, the timeline and different countries and the events taking place in different countries, because the chapter is talking about nationalism in Europe. So we need to cater entire Europe here. Okay, so let us start. I will follow the NCERT, so you will not have any problem in understanding what exactly is the chapter all about. Basic background I have just given you. So first page is talking about, there is a one beautiful handmade painting by Frederick Sorio in 1848. According to him, what he wants to show in this painting, you see this is a beautiful painting, okay, and so many people are carrying their flag, moving to the Statue of Liberty, which is a symbol of freedom. Freedom from monarchy, of course, freedom from restrictions, freedom from so many things. And they are not going to fight with each other anymore. Whatever territory they have now finalized that this is my territory of India, this is Pakistan, this is Sri Lanka, nobody will intervene with each other. One. Two, they are happy because now there is no fight, there is no conflict, and concept of upper caste, upper class, lower class has been removed because of the constitution. Equality has been emerged, because if we talk about democracy, it is about equality. There is no discrimination on any grounds. After seeing this, so the god and goddesses in the sky, they are also very happy. They are also blessing the people. Okay, now everything is smooth, no issues, no conflict, no violences. So this state of society, this is an imagination, and it will remain only imagination, because in practicality there is no time when there was no war on this earth. At some point of a time, in some corner of the world, there was kind of a wars, and history means wars, and the wars, the ground of war is just have more, this just occupy that country, just go to that and just capture. So this is the only reason of war, and it has been part of human existence, correct? So in the end, there is one word written, utopian, UTOPIAN. Okay, utopian means the state of society when everything is best of it, perfect, no violence, no conflict. Fine. So in this paragraph, it is just an introduction. Again, you have to remember the name of the painter and what he tries to convey through this painting, and what do you mean by utopian. And absolute, I hope absolutism you understand, absolute monarchy when everything is under control of one person, and opposite to that utopian when all are free, or liberalism, democracy when people are happy to live with all and with accepting each other. First of all, they have defined their geography, and all the people coming in this territorial area are willing to live together without having any issues. Fine. So this was the introduction, and slowly, and if you read this paragraph, I cannot read it here, I am just giving you summary of each and every paragraph, and believe me, if you listen to me carefully and simultaneously pause the video and read the lesson, everything is clear to you, and you will not have any issues. And the next paragraph on page number 4, the last paragraph, they're talking about formation of nation state. I started the chapter introduction. What do you mean by nation state? So here nation state means now that all the people have their identity. This is a modern state, and they are given the word called citizen. Nobody sir and madam, and restriction of in terms of titles also. All are citizens of the country under the head called nation state. So far I have explained you very well what is nation, what is state. Write down the first question of this chapter. What do you mean by nation state in 1 mark only? How much you will write into that? Look at this, read the paragraph, and answer is clear to you and very easy to understand. Fine. Next topic, we are going to start what is written French Revolution and the idea of nation. So which was the first country who introduced the concept of nation to the Europe and to the world is France through French Revolution. So French Revolution, I hope, can we recall it? There was Louis XVI who was who used to live extravagant lifestyle. He was hardly bothered about his public, and when there was a severe winter, there was no crop, and people went to him and his wife, please help us, we don't have bread to eat. So what was the answer of Marie Antoinette, the wife of Louis XVI? She was the princess, and what does she answer? She was a queen, and what was her answer? If you don't have bread, why don't you eat cakes? So you can think what kind of a queen and king they were. They did not have any sense. What are they doing? Just they born into a family of the king, so they have become king or queen, but without any brain. So this was the system of absolute monarchy. People had issues. Monarch has no time to listen what is happening to my people. Correct? And under that, when it got over, so that entire chapter I am not repeating, you remember. After French Revolution, when people protested, so France became constitutional monarchy. Means Louis XVI will be there, and there will be a, of course, constitution to be followed by all the people, even by the king, and there would be a system of parliament. And the first parliament they had was National Assembly, in which people were elected, okay, and they represented the population of France, but in that election only males voted. Okay, so and there were some issues that was not clear and perfect democracy. It was a start of it, so only men were considered as a voter. Then their age was reduced, still men were considered. So after National Assembly, the next government came of Maximilien Robespierre, which was the government called Convention government. I have given you the timeline. Go by that. Everything is written in this paragraph. What I am saying, you just go and read on. So after that Jacobin Club, the last paragraph on page number 5. After the Jacobin Club, who came into the picture? Napoleon Bonaparte. So Napoleon Bonaparte, information on him. He was a military head. So he was seeing that my country is not running smoothly, and there is a chance that neighboring countries may attack on France. And there was attack on France. So he was the person who saved France from the enemies, and enemies are always our neighbors at that time and somewhat today also. So he saved France, and when he realized that if I am saving my country, so why can't I become myself as a dictator? So he dismissed previous things, means he dismissed democracy and absolute monarchy had gone previously, and he crowned himself as a dictator. So he ruled France from 1804 to 1815. but he was not that bad dictator. His policies were very healthy and very, easy for the people to understand. And in the beginning, people were not aware, they were not believing whether he is a dictator or he's a good ruler. So some negative and positive things were associated with the Napoleon, and no doubt he also had this vision of having, more a bigger territory for France. So he was also involved in multiple wars. And in one of the wars of Waterloo in 1815, he was being defeated by 4 countries together, because he became so popular at that time because of his good policies in France and the neighboring areas where he was winning the territory. So the countries who defeated him was Austria, Prussia, Russia and England all together at the Battle of Waterloo. I hope till now you are able to recall things from class 9th chapter, French Revolution. I have repeated nothing new. It was done by you previously. Next, here, after Napoleon Bonaparte, he has brought lot of reforms or policies. People started liking him, and one of the important policies was that he brought the concept of equal weighing system. Equal weighing means whenever you measure something, you use different methods to weigh something. So he said, why you X country or X place or X group is using this and Y is using this. So he brought uniform system of weight to weigh something, and second he brought equal currency, means all will use the same currency. So there is no issues in converting currencies, then agreeing to buy or sell your products. So this way businessmen got so much revenue. They were so happy about this, and they were able to increase their businesses. So one of the social group which was very happy with the Napoleon Bonaparte's policies was the businessman group, correct? So there is a one figure 5. If you look at this picture, what is there talking about? That Napoleon is shown as a postman and he is throwing letters. So letters here means he's in his pocket or in his bag. He is favoring all, and he has something or less or more for all the people. So that is the depiction of his personality through this picture. Okay, so after that it is written that where all he won his wars and in which places he ruled. So now my question to you is that after doing this entire, so the heading 1, the French Revolution and idea of nation, under that we have covered the history of France in 2 pages till 1815 when he was being defeated. We are going to bring France again ahead in the chapter, but at multiple places. But what question you are going to write here? So this is the same question: how France brought up the idea of nation to the world. How France brought up the idea of nation to the world. Oblique, small questions under this head. What do you mean by citizen? Who are the citizen? And who were Jacobians? Correct. Who was Napoleon Bonaparte and which reforms he brought in? The third question. The first question was the bigger one, and under that I am giving you the small question. The last question was, who was Napoleon Bonaparte? Which reforms he brought up? Okay, so this portion I have covered. Now I am moving to the next topic, the making of nationalism in Europe. So we are now looking at the other countries and the feeling of being a part of and making it a nation. So in the first paragraph of page 8, there are so many names given to you, and it is being asked to you and told to you, say that these places or these communities have now part of other big nations today. So previously Europe had much more divisions that you see today. Now 2-3 social groups or places or the area is clubbed into one nation. Correct? So that is the introduction of it. You just go and have a recall, or you can, if you can get old map of Europe and compare with the today's map, so you will enjoy this more. Now the next topic, aristocracy and the new middle class. During this period, previously if you again France, there were only 2 states, Second estate, first Raja, second was clergy, third was poor people. So mainly it was divided into two only, upper and lower, or you can say rich and poor. Now in between that, the middle layer also emerged during this period of 100 and 120 years, and this group was educated middle class. Those who were able to send their children to get education in US, they got educated, became doctors, lawyers. They started questioning the practices of monarchy and asking their families, correct? So it brought lot of change in Europe. Now the thinking pattern of European population started changing. Now they have lost their faith in the monarch and they want to listen to the new people, their new ideas, that let us do this and we will bring democracy in the country. So in this paragraph of 2.1, you are going to understand how did, please write down the question, how did new middle class emerged in Europe and what was their opinion. What was their opinion? Next question, what did liberal nationalism stand for? If this middle class is educated, so what are they going to bring new thing? Of course, they are going to bring the concept of nationalism and freedom. I am repeating it again. So democracy, feeling of democracy, practices of democracy was now in the minds of the middle class people, and they are spreading it throughout, and throughout means to the poor people, because poor are always in large in number. So they are connecting bridge of between, you know, monarchy, and they are not connecting bridge in the sense they are bringing the ideas that we don't need monarchy, we have to bring new concept of ruling, correct? So middle class played an important role in spreading the concept of liberalism among the population of the Europe. So please write the next question, what did liberal nationalism stand for? Under which what will happen? You have to there will be election and all will get the right to vote, which is called suffrage movement, UAF, Universal Adult Suffrage Movement. I hope it is clear. You have done it previously also. So in the beginning only males were taken into the brackets of UAF, but gradually women were also part of it. In different countries, women were taken gradually in UAF. So this is called what? Liberalism. When you are free, you can vote, you can form your own government and you can rule the country. Same thing, the way we learnt in political science of class 10. So similar thing. So that political science has some history which we are learning here. Simple. So question is that what nationalism meant for the liberals and how did they bring into the picture? How did they bring into this picture? By doing a protest movement, secret societies, because no doubt about it, if monarch would got to know that some kind of activities is going on in his kingdom, he is going to punish you, he is going to put you behind the bars. So people started forming their secret societies, because we are going to see there was one popular leader, young leader, and he was being executed and he was just 24, that he was just correct, from Italy. So this way we saw that how liberalism and somewhere Napoleon also helped in bringing liberal policies of equalizing the weighing system, currency system. So he was somewhere in middle of that. He was somewhere also in favor of bringing democracy, but not through removing by his position, by bringing reforms. Okay. So next question here we have in the back only on page number 10. Please write down, there is a one question which is coming from the page 9 only. Please write down the, again this is repeated, administrative reforms of Napoleon. Okay, administrative reforms of Napoleon under this, because he had also, I told you, the similar policies of democracy. So page number 9 is continuing, the last paragraph is continuing in 10, and the question on this is that what were the administrative reforms of the Napoleon Bonaparte. So that question and the previous question are separated and you have to write different answer under that and read the question carefully, what exactly are being asked to you about the Napoleon. Correct. So he has brought the one concept, a common union, I told you, Zollverein was formed, and by joining Prussia and German state and making and removing the trade barriers and making the currency from 30 to 2. So now there would be 2 currencies, not 30 previously. So it was the combination of German states and some of the Prussian states. So this was the, again, steps towards liberalization took by the Napoleon, spread it across the Europe, adopted by different countries, accepted by that, and now they would like to have it like this. Fine. Next topic, new conservatism. 1815. See, we are seeing till 1815. Now there was a war. Napoleon was defeated. France is defeated. The rest of the countries do not want to bring these, freedoms in the Europe, because their position is on threat. Who will going to respect now? So there will no be monarch system. Correct. So all the monarchs got feared. So what did they do? First of all, they defeated Napoleon, and secondly, they thought everything starts from France. Let us put a puppet ruler in France itself. So they brought Louis Philippe. He was the cousin of Louis XVI and put him as a monarch once again in France. So monarchy was re-established. From 1815 to 1830, it happened for 15 years. Okay, and the other countries, those who defeated monarch, they met at a place called Vienna, which is in Austria, in 1815 after the defeat, and they put the map on the table and they checked which places were won by the Napoleon. So let us divide it among ourselves because we have defeated him. So please write the next question. What was Treaty of Vienna? In that treaty, they got some places and they left some places. And during this treaty only, they put Louis Philippe as the puppet ruler of the France once again. So this happened in Europe as a whole, okay, from 1815 to 1830. So the sequence, I hope it is clear. You are understanding, and with me with the storyline which is going on. It's kind of a story only. History is all about story. You have to just listen it carefully, and once and twice you have to read it, and you will get the good marks and full marks sometime, because language does not matter in history. Language matters in political science majorly, because you have to use those words properly. Correct. So I hope it is clear. So main intention to remove Napoleon and to bring back the conservatism again in Europe. So the heading is a new conservatism, and you can see the picture under it. So I told you some people have came up in the map of the Europe as a revolutionary or a freedom fighter or anti-monarch. So one of them was Giuseppe. On figure 7 you can see his picture, Giuseppe Mazzini, and he founded secret society Young Italy and Young Europe, right? Young Italy in Marseilles and Young Europe in Bern. So he formed these two secret societies, and many youth people were joining him because he was very strong. So the new 2.4 is new revolutionaries. So these were the revolutionaries under the carpet, and who question does not come on this. Write down something on new revolutionaries. Only Giuseppe Mazzini was asked. He was 24 and finally he was caught and he was executed in Italy. Correct. So let us move from this timeline. So we have done till 1830, but something is happening under the carpet. So let us move to age of revolution, 1830 to 1848. Is that okay? I have covered it everything. You please stop the video, listen it again and open the NCERT, so you will be able to collab, and please write down the questions simultaneously. So good students can get the answers here itself. Still you can go through the notes which I have provided. So age of revolution in which when there was a threat to Louis Philippe, again, and before that, so liberal now want to throw him again. So there was a statement by the person Duke of Austria. He is Metternich. Duke means here the king. He's saying that when France sneezes, entire Europe catches the cold. This is the statement asked many times. When France sneezes, entire Europe catches the cold. So whatever is happening in France, we have to be very careful, because it will impact the entire Europe. So once French Revolution took place, now something is also going to happen very soon in France, because there was some kind of a secret societies mushroomed up. So he was actually talking, he was threatened by the Giuseppe Mazzini of Italy, correct? And gradually the impact was that, and now I am coming to the second paragraph of page 13. Now we are seeing first country who got separation and became one nation independently, and that was your Greece. And Greek was a part of Ottoman Empire, and they said now we would like, Ottoman Empire was ruled by a Muslim king, and Greek had their own culture which was dominated by this Ottoman Empire. So they got separated. They signed one treaty. Now we are going separating each other. We are forming our own nation. This is called Treaty of Constantinople of 1832. Please write the first question. Which country got separated first in Europe and became independent? Oblique, what was Treaty of Constantinople? So this paragraph is talking about entire Greeks. Correct? Please mark out this paragraph would come in the answer, the complete paragraph. Next, romantic imagination and national feeling. So to motivate people to take part in the process of nationalism, some artists came up and they wrote certain songs. They started doing some dances, performed well. So they used their art to motivate people, and it helped a lot, especially in Germany and in Poland. So there are two names which we have to remember always, and the one name is on page number 14, John Gottfried Herder from 1744 to 1803, and through his dance Das Volk, as it is written, culture, and they actually influenced people, motivated them to take participation in nationalism. And the second one is Karl Kropinski from Poland, who also performed so many dances just to motivate Polish people. Now why only Polish people? Because Poland was ruled by Russia. Because if you see in the map, they are very close by. So Russia dominated Poland, and they dominated them in such a way that it was not allowed to use Polish language in churches, and the Russian authorities are threatening all the priests or clergies that you have to teach all the kids in Russian language, not in Polish language. So not acceptable to any culture. So again there was a protest. So that protest was spreaded by the artist. So the next paragraph of 3.1, or the last paragraph, is talking about the population of Poland and the problem of Poland. So you can put heading on that, Poland and the role of artist in bringing feeling of nationalism. Poland and role of artist in bringing feeling of nationalism in Poland. Correct? So you are seeing the issues, you are understanding the story. Next we have 3.2, hunger, hardship and popular revolt. So this is the broader thing we covered. Now let us go into little detail and deep. What was happening to the population, poor people? They were not taken into the consideration. They were not giving full wages. They were not helped by the king anyhow. Farmers are dying because of no harvest, and the poor people, peasants basically, those who were working for others, were not getting wages, and their owners were becoming rich. So exploitation was clear. So the spread, once you just fire and the fire gets spreaded, just burn a fire. So same thing happened with them, that they also started participating. So what did they do? So there was a year of food shortage, and in Silesia there was a revolt against their own employers. The peasants broke machines, houses, looted their employers, showing their anger, violence, and they wanted them to consider their hard work and recognize them. Just seeing that revolt, the landowners and the employers ran away. So this way they got it, whatever was left for them, the Aam Janta, the peasants got what was left by them. So this was kind of a violent protest, and the issue was same. Correct? So let us move to please write the question, explain the revolt of Silesia and what was its its outcome. Write down the question, what was the revolt of Silesia, and write down its outcome. Correct. Next, let us move to the 3.3. 3.3, 1848, the revolution of the liberals. Now, who are the liberals? Same middle class, aware, powerful in knowledge, with support of masses. Okay? So, this was how did they started. So, here we are going to start seeing two major countries, Germany and Italy. So, let us start from Germany. What happened in Germany? I hope we have covered France. We have covered Greece, we saw Poland also, and at some place we saw Silesia also. This is also one of the places in Europe, correct? Let us move to the big country, Germany. What was the problem and how did they tackle? Problem was the same, but how did Germany tackle this problem? So from page number 3, from topic 3.3, page number 17, in the second paragraph, we are going to see Germany. So after seeing these protests, so people of Germany also formed their national assemblies on the similar lines of the France, correct? And they were 831 people, those who were representing the rest of the population of Germany, correct? They were 831, and on 18th May 1848, there was a place called Frankfurt. Okay, and there is a place Frankfurt, and in that there is a church called Saint Paul. They all of them went and told their king Frederick William IV, King of Prussia, because at that time he was ruling Germany. Fine, because in the previously we learned now German and Russia was clubbed. So the ruler was Prussian. So all of them went and asked him that we have formed our national assembly, now you are our king, accept as us your as a constitutional monarch. Do you think he would take them seriously? No. He said this is nonsense, and all of them were disbanded. Means their entire meeting or assembly was disbanded with the help of force. So police was sent, and this happened in 1848, correct? So do you think that when you start something, it does not stop? You cannot suppress it when it has interest of all the people of the country. So it was just suppressed for some times, but later on we are going to see, because I am following the NCERT sequence. So just hold on here, read on this page. What happened in Germany at first at initial stage, and later on what happened, correct? So women were also not given any place in 831 group. So they were standing like visitors and spectators in the church of Saint Paul. You can look at the figure 10. So this is normally asked. So what women, what was their role? So their role was just like a spectator. However, they were continuously participating in the protest and making their country democratic. Next, let us move. So that was the beginning of German, process of nationalism. Correct? That was the first part. Next, the making of Germany and Italy. 4.1. Germany, can the army be the architect of a nation? So in Germany, so when it was being spreaded across, and there is always the army, and the king is Prussian. So some popular people of army, or you can say heads of the army, joined this protest of making German a nation, because they were also German. They were seeing discrimination. So they realized that this is the high time now that we have to support our people. So here you need to understand, you have to write first character. He was the chief minister of he was put as a chief minister of Germany, and his name was Otto von Bismarck. He joined their protest, correct? And he fought few wars with Prussia, with the help of Prussian army only. German army and Prussian army got together, and they had 3 wars with Austria, Denmark and France. This way they defeated their enemy. Now the population of the army of Prussia and army of Germany are together, and the maximum population is German. Correct. Now they have defeated the enemies. They have taken the picture as a frontline warrior. At the back, the population was there, the National Assembly of 831 people. It happened in 1871, 1848 to 1871. Now Otto von Bismarck has become the chief architect of forming the Germany as a nation. Correct. So Otto von Bismarck won, and he went again and asked Prussian king, next the new one is Kaiser William I, that you became our monarch and accept us as a nation with constitution. So this way the second event of Germany helped in forming and making it as a nation with the help of Prussian army, and King of Prussia accepted it and became the monarch of German as well as Prussia. So in figure 11 there is a procession shown here, beautiful procession which took place in Germany at the time of ceremony of making Kaiser William as the monarch. Next, Germany is finished here. Next topic or the next country is Italy. Italy was divided into 7 islands, and there were small kings also, those who were ruling, but the major population or maximum area was under the hands of the name was called which had the maximum population of Italians was Sardinia Piedmont. Correct. If there are two map, 14A and 14B, 14A you can just circle Sardinia and kingdom of Sardinia Piedmont and kingdom of Sicily, right? So you just mark it, and there Italian population was living, and in between some small social groups were there, and they had different kings. So we have to unify it into one, who the Italians people thought of it, and to make it one nation after seeing so many things are happening in Europe simultaneously. So who was the person? So Giuseppe Mazzini was from him, as I discussed that he was being executed. Now there was the king called Victor Emmanuel II, right, who took this charge and rebuild the Germany. Again he had to do lot of war after fighting with the help of Chief Minister Cavour, both together, right? Chief Minister Cavour and King Victor Emmanuel. Correct. They got together and they fought with small kings and unified the Germany. There is one more character, it's called Giuseppe Garibaldi. He was the person who is actually leader of, he was a volunteer, and he was fighting for Italy, and he made his an army of volunteers. And when he was convincing others to join him, because he was the leader of that particular area, local people of Italy loved him, and whenever he would say Italia, just Italia means the La Italia means the actually La Italia is the name of Italy, but the normal people, the local people were so innocent that they thought that this is the name of King Victor's wife. They did not think that this is the name of their own country for whom they are fighting for, right? Because normally we give a female name to motherland. We normally consider country as a motherland. So he was also talking about La Italia. So this was a little fun happened during that time in understanding who is La Italia and the role of the local people, role of volunteers, and the role of chief ministers and the king. So this way Italy was unified in 1861. Correct. So here what all questions you can write. Formation of Germany, please write down the formation and process of making Germany. Second, please write down formation and making of process of Italy. That's it. So these are the major countries I have told you in the starting. Correct. Next, let us move to the last country is now UK. So UK is today UK has 4 nations: England, Northern Ireland, Wales and Scotland. How they became one nation, the story is given here. Correct. So England also had a lots of social ethnic group written here, and they all got clubbed together and made into one nation gradually. So the first treaty was signed with Scotland in 1707, in which Scotland would be part of now England, because that is a process. So it was negotiation. Okay, you would like to join us, you would like to be with us as a nation. So it was going on. Then there was a fight between two groups, Catholics and Protestants. Both are Christians. So Catholics was dominated in Ireland, but Protestants are from England. So some part of northern Ireland, the north side got splitted from main Ireland and joined the England, because England was Protestant. Okay, so on the basis of religious grounds also fights were going on. I am repeating, Catholics and Protestant. So some people or percentage of population joined England, correct, as a Northern Ireland, part of Northern Ireland, and Northern Ireland was dissected from the main Ireland. Correct. Next we have, so now it is a one nation. So all people should sing one song. They should follow one flag, which is United Kingdom's flag is known as Union Jack, and their national anthem is God Save Our Noble King, and the language is going to be English only. So all of them accepted, and now this is a big nation. So this was the story of formation of UK. Please write the next question. How was UK became a nation? Correct. After seeing that, visualizing the nation. So there are certain photographs of a female, allegories, means representation of a nation as a female figure, and the names are given here. So interesting name is that Marianne was the name of the France. The female figure or motherland is given. Next we have Germania, and somewhere next we have fallen Germania. Correct. And now we are seeing again Germania, who is having sword in her hand and with full of power. So look at this. This is the only sequence of 1848, when people went to make it a nation, it was being denied. Next nation was formed. So all the three pictures are representing the background story of Germany in making its nation. Correct. And last topic we have nationalism and imperialism. Nationalism you understood. Imperialism means Raja and his king across the globe. If I am in Delhi and I want to assume I have one Ahmedabad or Gujarat, correct, they are not close to Delhi, but I have one somehow. So that entire place would be under me. That would be called imperial. Same way, there was some place which was not won by any king at that time in Europe. There was some space or place left over, having lots of small minority and you can say different ethnic groups. And this area was called Balkan region or Balkan region. The pronunciation you please correct if I am wrong. The Balkan region had a different social and ethnic groups. So now all the kings wanted, though they were not close by, they wanted to win that place. So the basic fundamental nature did not change after nationalism and seeing nationalism in different countries of Europe. So fundamental behavior did not change. So to win over that place, there was a small fight started. By whom? Of course, by the Germany with Austria and with the help of Ottoman Empire. When they started attacking and taking out that place into their territory, the other countries, France and UK also entered in occupying that particular area. That resulted into, once the fight started, it resulted into First World War. So that means nationalism was taking place simultaneously, slowly. Same time, the concept of having more and more and winning wars is still going on. So this entire paragraph will talk about different social group in first paragraph, and in second the start of war, planning of war, and start of war in terms of they thought that they will win within a day or two. Germany thought of it, but it did not, because we know that it lasted for 4 years. So in 1914 it started and it ended in 1918, the First World War. So this way we have finished here nationalism in Europe, saw so many countries to become a nation, and saw how did it end, the century, how did it end. So it again ended into First World War, and the conclusion is given, on page number 27 is complete conclusion given of this entire lesson. I hope you must have enjoyed this story a lot. Please listen it again, you will definitely enjoy. And the last question of this is that what was Balkan region and what was the reason of starting First World War? Correct, what was Balkan region and what were the reasons to start of First World War? Please take a test, else history will not come into your mind, because you may write something wrong. So far I have concluded with so many countries. You just go, learn, revise and get your doubts clear and write down your test. Thank you so much.